Midland-based ministry that promised her help try to take her baby. What began as a search for shelter turned into a fight for her freedom, her child, and ultimately a months-long courtroom battle to get the baby back that no one saw coming. Senior investigative reporter Tanya Iser from our sister station in Dallas has the first part of this investigation, The Village.
To hear what I had to say does sound unbelievable.
But it's happening.
It's happening.
She was being taken out to Midland by an organization supposedly helping trafficking victims.
What do you think their end game was?
I genuinely believe they were going to steal that baby.
This is movie stuff. It's a wild deal.
This case is crazy. I mean, they wanted her child, period.
Nah, nobody is separating kids and mothers. In 2026,
They're obsessed with trying to get my baby back still. This is my world right here.
It's a moment months in the making.
we help where we can.
The baby shower inside a Dallas County courtroom where Deamber Brown almost lost her freedom and her baby.
I'm just happy to have her back.
Brown's story begins back in November when she needed a place to live.
I was at the end of my pregnancy. Just quit both my jobs, too big to work.
She was homeless and a human trafficking survivor. A Dallas shelter referred her to Reflection Ministries in Midland. Their housing complex was known as The Village.
I really thought it'd be a place where I could start over, bring my other kids, have a new life.
On December 1st, 10 days after arriving at Reflection Ministries, Deamber Brown underwent an emergency C-section at Midland Memorial Hospital.
They were like, you're gonna have this baby tonight.
She says Reflection Ministries Chief Operating Officer Elizabeth Walker showed up and began making strange comments.
It was what I thought were jokes of, oh, this is my baby. She's just having a baby for me. She's just a surrogate.
Reflection Ministries founder Lisa Bounds would later produce paperwork claiming Brown signed over temporary guardianship of her newborn to her.
Do you remember signing the paperwork?
No, there was no signing of any paperwork.
Court records show hospital staff later told investigators that Brown would not have signed any guardianship paperwork without a social worker and Midland Memorial's legal department being involved.
We repeatedly reached out to Lisa Bounds and Elizabeth Walker for interviews, but both declined. Their attorneys maintained that neither woman did anything wrong. When Brown accepted Reflection Ministries' offer to stay in Midland, she was on Dallas County probation for shooting a man in the leg. She says Elizabeth Walker promised to transfer her probation there, but it never happened. She says when she told an employee she wanted to leave with her baby, she got a chilling response.
She told me that she talked to Lisa and Elizabeth, and Elizabeth had told her the only way I'm leaving is in handcuffs. 2 days later, I was arrested.
Why do you think she did that?
Just for my baby. Just to get me out the way.
After 5 days inside the Midland County Jail, she was transferred to jail in Dallas. Her baby stayed in Midland with Bounds. She spent Christmas behind bars.
All right.
Brown ended up in here, the courtroom of Judge Rocky Jones in Dallas.
All right.
It was her job to decide if Brown actually violated her probation by leaving Dallas County without permission.
Let me tell you the other part of that.
Earlier this year, Lisa Bounds showed up in Jones's court and asked to meet with the judge.
She starts telling me why Ms. Brown was terminated from the program and telling me how she believed that she was an unfit mother.
I genuinely believe they were going to steal that baby.
Jacob Zachariah was Brown's court-appointed lawyer in Dallas.
By hook or crook, they were going to get that baby.
Judge Jones said Bounds and Walker wanted Brown to permanently sign away her parental rights.
And their mission was to make sure that this young lady got prosecuted and that her probation was revoked.
Walker wrote an email to probation saying, unfortunately, incarceration is sometimes necessary for an individual to pause, reflect, and take accountability.
I denied the state's motion to revoke.
Brown was released from jail. But she still didn't have her baby. Bounds and her husband had gone to court in Midland seeking permanent custody of the child.
When she told me her story, red flags were all over the place.
Anthony Reed was Brown's lawyer in the Midland custody battle. In a court filing, the Bounds claimed Brown had a history of child abuse and neglect. It asked that she be denied access to the child. The couple also asked Brown to pay them child support.
It stunk to high heaven.
Eventually, a Midland judge ordered the baby returned to Brown. Life, it seemed, was back to normal.
None of this would be possible without God.
Back in Dallas, Judge Jones threw a baby shower in her courtroom. But Brown and her supporters would soon realize the story was far from over.
World right here.
Tomorrow night, as Deamber Brown's story continues, you'll hear about visits by mysterious strangers, search warrants, allegations of graphic violence, even arrests, and why Brown worries her baby still isn't safe. In Dallas, I'm Tanya Iser, News West 9.